Hey, gentlemen, this is the Hero's Journey with Dr. D. I had some technical difficulties, but I think I'm all right now. Let me just open up my chat line. I know some people are saying, I can't see you, I can't hear you, but I'm here now. I'm here now. I'm here now. So tell me what you see, if I'm chopped up, or if I'm spotchy, or if I'm slow. Give me some info so I can move on and see what the end going to be. All right, tonight. Let me first thing I'm doing, open up my chat lines so I can get a little clarity. Get a little clarity. Uh, do I need to kick one of my people off, which is me, on another screen? Well, I think it took care of itself. Took care of itself. But what I'm doing, I am opening my chat lines. Seems like it's taking a little bit of delay. Maybe I got too many boxes open. So I can put a link in here and chat line. Uh, if you look over in the chat line, you see the link. So if you want to come on my Q&A and give you 2 cents, you may get a nickel back. Go ahead. I encourage you. I applaud you. I want you to come. I want to decrease the conversation. All right. Let me move this thing. Tonight, you know what it is? What it is? Oh, it is. It's different. It's not just it's not to recap, but it's an update and it's a conversation. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about tonight. You may ask, we're gonna talk about gratitude. But first, I'm gonna lead off, give my little take on gratitude. And then I open up the gateways, so other people can communicate and conversate. Now, I invite anybody that's on to actually who's looking at the video right this show at this time. Go ahead, give you 2 cents. You may actually get a nickel back. So let's look at it. All right, gratitude. Gratitude. Let me give. Okay. Gratitude. Still kind of slow. Things. Gratitude. Gratitude is a positive emotion that involves being thankful and appreciative and is associated with several mental and physical health benefits. When you experience gratitude, you feel grateful for something or someone in your life and respond with feelings of kindness, warmth, and other forms of generosity. So that's just a general reason and definition of gratitude. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about gratitude. A lot of people just not grateful. A lot of people not grateful for what they have. A lot of people not grateful about what they've been through. And not a lot of people are not grateful for where they are. I think if you look at one point of view, one person said you should be grateful. Other person said I don't need to be grateful about anything. I think every day you have opportunity to breathe again is a point of being grateful. However, some people choose to argue that that's not a reason to be grateful. Some people wish um, their wake up was a good night. I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there. You know, let me tell you something about me. I just went home. I'm from Chicago. Just went home because we had a concern about my mother. And my mother is 87 years old. And I had, well, probably about 3 weeks ago, is a car accident between my mother and my father, and my sister was driving, and everybody came out. All right, nobody was injured, so we thought. My mother bumped her head, and she got to the hospital, and everything was fine. And then she's been home for like 3 weeks. She's been home for 3 weeks, and then um, everything was fine as we thought. And then she went to sleep on a Friday, and she woke up on a Sunday. A long kiss almost meant good night, but it wasn't because she did wake up. And that's the thing. She did wake up, however, but I just don't know when will be the last time you say goodbye. Do you know when the last time you'll say, I love you? Do you know the last time you'll be able to put your arms around your loved one? Or do you leave on a note of fussing or cussing? You just don't know. I heard one man say, I think it's my brother, he told me that one thing you know is that you will not get out of this life alive. What will you leave behind? But while you're here, what are you grateful for? I'm grateful for having parents that are still here. The truth of the matter is, I don't know what it feel like if I picked up the phone and wasn't able to get a hold of one of them. I know some people can say, some people have that experience. I haven't. Right now, I can't pick up the phone and call my mother. She's still here, but she's recovering. But I am grateful to have had her and to have her still here. I'm grateful to have my father still here. I am grateful to be in a position where I can be a father. Now, the thing is, when you wake up in the morning, when you put your shoes on, your flip flops or whatever, your clothes, and you go outside, are you grateful for that? Are we grateful for the little things? Everybody talk about how much they want. They want. It's it's such a self-absorbed society. Everybody wanting more and more and more. How about being grateful for what you have? And the more you get, why not give it to those who have less? I promise you, you'll have intrinsic reward, a feeling that uh, money can't buy. Even when you have less and you give half of your less, half of your little, the, the ability to be able to give. I'm not to that status where I can give $1 million, but I'm gonna be there. I'm not to that status where I can be able to give a house to those who need a home, but I'll get there. I'm not to the status where I can go ahead and buy a couple cars. Like, oh, but I'll get there. Because I think it's no greater gift than to give because I am grateful. Are you grateful for who you have? Are you grateful for being here? Are you grateful for being able to have a voice to speak in the free world? I promise you, a lot of people in Ukraine would love to trade places with you. A lot of people in a lot of third world countries would love to trade places with you. But even in our poor slum in America, it's like a penthouse to those outside of us. Someone told me that they came to America and they're looking to the landfills, and it's like a smoker's board compared to what they have to eat at home. Because we throw away so much. We take for granted the next meal. And some people go without food for weeks. Can you be grateful for the little things? I promise you, if you're grateful for little things, God will bless you with much. All right, all right. Okay. Are we good, brother? Update? Well, update. I'm switching stuff around. All right, I gotta stop on the clapper. All right, the update is that. Listen, I changed the format a little bit because it's hot outside and I'm busy. And so I think the topic is a good topic to have discussion, and I welcome anybody to come on and have discussion with me, with us, because I think if we have more grateful people in this world, I think it'd be a better one. I think it'd be a better one. But my update is I'll soon be I am now trying to develop my my other extension to the YouTube channel called Ride and Share with Dr. D. I do ride share on a part time. However, I will have new content. But we'll see. I'm still working on the process because I still edit everything I do. Okay, so also developing new material. Just any suggestions, I am open. No, just put it in the comments in the chat section. But you on the replay, put it down in the comment section. I appreciate it, and then we'll talk about it. I'll see what I can do for you. All right, so let's open up the. All right, bringing the Marine. Yay, Tito!
Good evening.
Now, bringing in the martial artist, the second degree, quiet Mufeng Chu. Renee.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Okay, tell me, is my picture choppy?
Yes. You kind of blurry.
Yeah, it is a little blurry, but the sound is good.
Yeah.
Any better?
The same.
Have mercy. All right. Yeah, I know the sound is good.
Yeah, the sound is.
I had him. Boy, this gets to me. But hey, I'll put something else up. But okay, talk to me. What do you think about gratitude? Gratitude.
Mm.
Go ahead, Renee.
Gratitude.
I was waiting on you, Tito. I know. Yeah, I agree with your analysis. Gratitude is it's important. It's an important part of living in the present. You know, it's a matter of perspective. You know,
Okay.
we have a lot to be grateful for. Sometimes you can't see it because you're thinking of the wrong thing. But yeah, I'm very grateful because I wake up and I realize that I'm incredibly blessed, um, and I'm grateful for that. Um, and it's like you said, there are people in this world that would they fantasize about having my life, and I realize that, you know.
Tito?
Yeah. I think a part of my morning prayer when I'm asking for enlargement of my territory, I always ask for God to keep me humble as my territory enlarge, um, because I am grateful for what I am blessed with, and as He continue to bless me with more, I still want to stay humble to show my gratitude, because sometimes as we get a little more, or we hit a certain status, or we have certain things, sometimes them things go to people's head, and I don't want to be one of them persons. I want to always remain humble because I know where my help come from. I know what's the source of what I have. So I think it is very important to be grateful and show gratitude for everything, you know, from being able to blink your eyes, being able to breathe on your own, being able to to eat, to walk, to move, just to do these things, even if you have some health issues, but you can still get around and move. That to me, that's important. That's you should be grateful because someone else could have it worse. Someone else, we got two Dr. D's on the street, but somebody else um could have it worse, and you could have it worse. And sometimes when you see people that have it worst off to you, and if you have a humble heart, I think you appreciate it. It helps keep your eyes open and appreciate how much better that you have. And I think it takes you a long way in life, because usually if you're grateful for what you have, any little territory or anything that you gain, or promotion or anything like that, you tend to stay humble with it, and you don't look down on your fellow man or woman because they don't have what you have. Because I always look at it, in another way too. It's always somebody else that got more. It's like looking at a beautiful woman. She's beautiful. Let me say Halle Berry, for example. Someone you can say, okay, you're dating Halle Berry. How can someone cheat on Halle Berry? But it's somebody else more beautiful than Halle Berry.
That's right.
So you have to be grateful for what you have. And when you be grateful, it just make you appreciate everything that you have. And you tend to take care of it better. You tend to nurture it better. Can't hear you, Dr. D.
You turn your volume off.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah. Now I can't hear you.
Well, that's me messing around. All right.
Yeah. Quit screwing around with the equipment.
Yeah. Leave well enough alone.
It was fine the way it was the first time.
Have some gratitude.
Quit screwing around with the equipment.
You know what it is, Renee? We don't see that cup.
That's, he's got. Wow, you have your own shirts. Wow.
He been had his own shirts.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's professional. That's
yeah,
good.
guys usually close when we on.
I didn't know you had your own shirts. When did you announce that?
His eyes open tonight.
That's
I
nice.
see clearly now. Oh, see,
That looks professional. Yes, but getting back to gratitude.
Okay.
Are you still screwing around with the equipment?
Well, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't push any more buttons.
Don't push nothing. Don't change nothing. Don't turn.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. You good.
Don't do anything. Don't mess around with anything.
Clear. Don't do anything.
Yeah. See, look, he's looking to do something now. You see how he's staring at it? He's trying to push a button or something. Just leave it alone.
Be grateful.
Yeah.
What you have.
Not promise me sunshine. That's not the way it is gonna be. But a little rain.
Hey, look, man. What's this American Idol stuff?
Let's be grateful. Let's be grateful.
I feel like Simon Cowell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend. Quack, 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 quack.
Now we know we had the shrooms tonight.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? Stop pushing buttons. But yeah, so I am grateful. See, he's looking to do something again. See, look. Stop pushing buttons. Just leave it alone.
Why are you adjusting your camera? Why?
Yeah,
It's not the camera. It's not the
just leave it alone.
I know.
It looked like your hand went over the lens of the camera to adjust.
Forget that. All right. I got the thing in my ear, and I'm hearing double sound.
Oh.
You probably hear it, or do you have a live stream going that's in the background where you listening to playing yourself?
Yeah, I'm on two screens.
Okay,
That's how I switched over.
Okay,
I switched over. I'm on two screens.
can you mute?
I mean,
the
that's
other
fine. Now,
screen?
I just took it out of my ear.
Okay.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. Yes, I took it out of my ear. Yeah. I mean, so what do you think about the current situation about people in communities, kids not being grateful, or you think kids are just a reflection from their parents?
Yeah. I think parents have to teach children gratitude. I think some things are not going to come natural because of the fallen nature of man. It's kind of like I listened to this one video blogger. He said, think about how many times, this is what he said, you have to tell your children to say thank you. It's like, if their basic nature was good, you wouldn't have to tell them so much before they finally get it, So I think children have to be taught your values. They have to be taught gratitude, I'm
How do you teach?
kind of like, huh?
How do you teach them? What's the example? What's the way to teach a child gratitude?
Well, I'm sure there are many different, but for one, by being grateful yourself, by being the example, by showing them that you're grateful, by you saying thank you, making a point to emphasize it, gratitude, be the example. I believe that your parents are your first teachers and your family is your first school.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. So your parents teach you how to interact.
Oh, he got down
Yeah.
some sound bites.
Your parents teach you how to treat people by teaching you how to treat your brothers and sisters, and then it reflects how when you get out of your home, how you interact with others. So yeah, I think it's a lot of it's parenting. You got to teach your children to be grateful and to emphasize them. Hey, don't take this for granted. Say thank you.
Do you think that having much or having less affect how grateful you are?
That's kind of like a double-edged sword in a way, because I think, I have met people on both sides of the roads, and some people with much would take care of their stuff with better than some people with less. And I done seen it also vice versa. And I think some of it is on us, because I know as a parent, I speak for myself on this, that it's certain things that I experience and live that I wouldn't want my kids to live. And so it's certain things that are different for my kids that they didn't have to put up with, or struggles that they didn't have because of the situation blessed situation of me being blessed, to do more for them than what my parents was able to do for me. And sometimes they don't realize your struggle of what you went through, because sometimes we try to give them more so they won't know our struggle. I remember the last time I was at home in Alabama, I went through my old neighborhood, and I remember when I got back to the hotel, I was talking to my wife because it was early in the morning. I got up early and I just rolled through my old neighborhood where I grew up at, and I remember talking to my wife and telling my wife that one of these days I want to take my youngest daughter through where I grew up at and let her know where I came from, how I grew up, and it wasn't always, I wanted to cry when I saw my old neighborhood, and my old neighborhood wasn't always like that. And I remember in the 80s when crack started being very, very popular, and what it did to my neighborhood. And now I just see it, all the way around of leaving, because sometimes when you in that change, you don't see it as much because it seemed to almost be like a gradual change. And then next thing you know, it's there. But being gone for over 20 some years and then coming back, everything is viewed differently. And it's things like that, and just seeing the drugs and how they affected people, your neighborhood, your next door neighbor, your friends, because their parents, sometimes got addicted to drugs. I had an uncle, that got addicted, went to rehab quite a few times, and that inspired me. That's like, hey, I ain't touching nothing. It just made me one of them people where like, for myself, that like it scared me to even want to, because it seemed like the people that that seem to be strong individual, once they're introduced, that will go away because of that high. So I just think that sometimes as a parent, and I'm speaking for myself, that what I saw and some of the things I experienced, I wouldn't want my kids to experience it, to see. So sometimes we kind of, with us trying to make it better for them, they kind of don't see the struggle. They don't see what you've been through, and don't see the struggle of what you go through to maintain the little bit that you have.
Mm. Hold on. Keep the conversation going. Be right back.
You got to fill that cup up. he going to go charge his cup.
Do you think that sometimes parents, in their effort to make things easier for their own children, that sometimes they fail to teach them the good that came out of the struggle?
I would say yes. In my opinion, I speak for myself on that, because for the simple fact, we don't want them to see the struggle, so we don't introduce them. We really don't talk about it. So sometimes they don't understand why we say certain things or we do certain things. As simple as, hey, if you're not in that room, why do you have a light on? Why you have a TV on? Why electricity? Why there's water running? It's been running for the last 10 minutes, but you haven't jumped in the shower yet. Or you go into the refrigerator just because you see something, you grabbing it, and then you don't even eat it. You take a couple of bites and now the rest of it been thrown away. Stuff like that. And they don't understand when you say something about them things, like that, to you, they looking like it's plenty of them in there. I had one, but it's 10 of them left. You know what I mean? So they don't understand that, hey, you know what, the value of food when it was a struggle for you, or when you had to have a bologna sandwich, that was your dinner. They don't, sometimes as parents, we don't allow them to have a struggle. We don't really have that conversation with them to let them know that, you're grateful for what you need to be grateful for what you have. And you as a parent that grew up in a struggle and you're a little bit better off than what you was, how you appreciate what you have and you don't take what you have for granted.
Mhm. Do you think it would be helpful as a parent to scale back sometimes?
Um,
I know that's probably really hard to do, but maybe like thin things out a little bit to get the children to see, hey, I'm sure there's probably a better way than that, but yeah.
but it look like he got a peace pipe now. He over there smoking a hookah. Okay. Well, it it may, but your kids might take it the wrong way
Well,
if you scale back. If they used to certain things and you scale back, especially if you still can afford them same things. Now, if they see that, and then it depends on the age and the attitude of the child too, because you got some kids that will, understand that, hey, that right now it's a struggle for everything to get everything to make ends meet and all of that kind of stuff. And then you got some that don't really care as long as they get what they want. So it kind of like depends on the child if when you start scaling back. If you have one of them child that kind of understand the struggle that, hey, times are tight now, they probably would accept that. But the child that don't really is not their concern, they really don't care. They gonna give you some he double hockey sticks behind that.
No, okay.
hey, Tito, what you said earlier about neighborhood, I think is valid. It's very valid. My brother told me that to watch when you leave and you come back, it's gonna it's gonna be look the same, but it's gonna look different. It's almost like when it become technicolor.
Hmm.
Yeah, it looks the same, but that's the thing. It is the same. So when you go out into new rises, you come back, it's still the same. I just have a couple things maybe moved or said, man, where's that pillar that building I grew up? It's not there no more. Or they redid the park, but you remember the roads you went to get to that park, and so that's why it's different. It's different because it's just different. And you come back, you have a different lens. You have a different lens. I went back home, and one of the guys told me, he said, "Yo, what's up, Tank?" That's my high school nickname. He said, "Yeah, man. He said, outside I was in North Carolina. He's like, hey, man, I'm in school. I'm going to school back to school. Now, this is one of the old, when you like 12 years old, he's like 16, and you look up to him.
He's one of the big kids.
16, yeah, 16, 17-year-olds. The 12-year-olds looked up to 16, 17-year-olds. And, but he's probably one of the rooks, well, the vice lords. Like, yeah, different gang members in their area. And, but, there's people we grew up with. And what got me is that, what got me is that when he said, "Yo, yeah, I'm going to school now." He said he's 5 years my senior, and he said he's going to community college. He said I'm going back to school, but I already have my master's then. But it just goes to show you that time does not stop for no man. Whether you stay on the corner as your brother for a Quaker, and as you keep on looking, people grow older and they leave, but you still remain the same, just with gray hair, and realize everybody else is moving, but you're stagnant. So you see growth going away, but you still in that puddle and no movement. And it was good that they realization. Wait a minute, man, I ain't gotta do this. I can go to school. I can move towards something. Because these guys on the corner drinking beer every day, that's not what life's all about. You get like 24, 25 and realize you still got Mark, I get $5 for gas. Yeah, that's not the life any real man wants to live.
I agree.
Yeah.
It can be painful when your life is stagnant. It can be very painful. Unless you just ignore, yeah. But that can be, because regret can be very emotionally difficult, When you think of all the things you could have done, and you didn't, yeah.
I say coulda, woulda, shoulda. But the thing is, when you get to a certain age, you say, man, I didn't even try.
Yeah.
I remember, Renee, when you was doing boxing. And it's like, give it a try. You can never say you didn't try.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. You get like, man, I wish I could have. Yeah. I could have been Floyd Mayweather. And if you didn't try, you grow older believing that lie.
Mm-hmm.
But because you tried, you can understand that. Yeah.
Are you trying to say that's why his eyes don't open all the way now?
They opened tonight. They saw the emerald on my shirt.
They wanted me to get, and I was like, no way. They wanted me to get down to that weight, and I was like, there's no way. I never wanted to be that small.
Well, wait, a Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, that's too small.
120
for me.
Yeah.
No, that is too small.
When you get a 25-mile-per-hour wind, you gonna get blown down the street at 120.
Yeah. Now I think Floyd Mayweather he fought in the 140s, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, that was way too small. I mean, for me, ideal weight would have been like the 170s, actually. But yeah, huh?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, like 160s, 170s. But yeah, yeah, you try, you try, and then you learn.
Yeah. Experiences
But you're grateful. Yeah. I think it's good when you can try things and maybe you have some failures, but you can get your children to learn from your failures, I don't understand the idea of repeating other people's mistakes, It's like, hey, I went down this road, it didn't quite work, so let me help you to, you can start where I left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think that the biggest thing you learn from trying is you have experience.
Mm-hmm.
You have lived. And what is life if you haven't tried certain things that you're not successful in?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If you're so calculated that everything you do you're successful in, I'm saying going in your vein, going to things that you purpose to do. But there's steps to get there. So if you don't try to do things that you may have some type of interest in, and just because you're interested in something does not mean it's your purpose of life. But it may just be that. So a lot of people are interested in golf, but they're not Arnold
Right.
Palmer or Tiger Woods. But they love
Right.
playing golf, but they never go on a tour.
Right.
But if you never try, if you never embrace it, interested in it, you never do it, then you never enjoy the pleasure of playing. Now I don't play. I'm gonna play one day. I'm gonna learn. But I heard that
For
it's really
golf?
fun. Yes.
For golf? Oh, okay.
You play?
At Top Golf, that's about it. Do you have Top Golf? Y'all have that in North Carolina, don't you?
Yeah, Ken and Raleigh.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
yeah. I play at Top Golf. That's it.
I'm not a
You know
golf
Top-
player.
You know
I'm
what
not a
Top
golf
Golf is?
player, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Top Golf. If you ever go on the highway, you'll see it. It's like about 4 or 5 stores. You see it is lit up, and people
Yeah.
are pretty much they just hit. You don't have to know how to play golf to play golf. Do Top Golf. I guess they have screens and stuff up there, and you just it's almost like going bowling and can't bowl.
Yeah.
You just go
Yeah.
throw the ball. I mean, Top Golf, you just go hit the ball. I guess it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a new respect for golfers. I thought it was going to be so easy. I swung at that ball 6 times and missed 5.
Did you open your eyes?
Yeah, of course. I
Well,
didn't know it was so hard. It was a lot harder than I thought. I didn't know it'd be that. I thought it was just be so easy, but man. And then my shoulders started aching. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is hard.
It's like hip movements and all of that. I understand. I had a friend, this was many, many years ago. He lived in a golfing community and he tried to teach me, and I just left divots. That's all. I don't think I hit the ball one time. It was just all divots. He was like, all right, this is not your sports.
Or you
Yeah.
stand up and grass?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think something like you said earlier, you have to be able to tell that you have propensities, you have angles, you have purposes, and you have passions, So like you said, you may have a passion for something, but it's not necessarily like I used to take percussion lessons and I want to take it again, but I don't want to be a professional drummer.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I think sometimes you have to be able to tell the difference,
How do you-
between huh?
I took percussion lessons. I take drum lessons. I wanted to play the drum, when I was young. It's my interest because the guy at the church he can burn, or he can make the drum sing. He had different types of sticks, and they had the fan sticks and stuff. But the beat, and so I get on the drums at church, and I try to play, and I could play a little bit. My twin could play better. I mean, he had better coordination, the beat, and other people could play better. But I actually went and took lessons to learn how to play.
Mhm.
Now as time progressed, I realized that I can't play that good. Or not necessarily I can't play that good. I'm not willing to put the time in for that to be my craft.
Yeah.
Right.
By having learned, I do have good beat sense. So last year for Christmas, my family gave me some bongos. Now I played the bongos before. And like somebody else's. I've never had my own.
Hmm.
And when I'm doing ride share, I had the bongos in the car.
Wow.
So he's playing
Wow.
the bongos. So I had the music on, and I do it one hand.
Wow.
Or when they come up to the car, I said, "Here comes Shaniqua."
Wow. Okay.
Well, all right.
Wow.
And they're like,
And he was accusing you of the drugs, Renee.
Yeah.
What
Now
life
your
is, you can have
your
fun.
singing ability is at professional level,
Oh,
but
thank you, sir.
your drumming is probably more at hobby.
And
And I
what?
think I think God gives us different giftings at different levels. So like I'm gonna
Right.
keep taking percussion lessons because I just enjoy it. But it's more like a hobby. I don't want a professional drummer. Now I could have been. I noticed I could have been a professional fighter because I was just into it at that level. Um, but not the drummer was just more like a hobby. And I think, like you said, you learn the differences in your life between a calling, a hobby, a gift, a purpose. You know, you kind of know. And I think sometimes people get it, and you see it on American Idol a lot. Sometimes people get it confused. They get the hobby level thing confused with, oh, this is my purpose. And all the friends are like, no, this is not, no, this is not. No, this, I live for this. It's like, no, you actually are a really good mathematician. No, I want to sing. I would know. No, just stick with
Right.
the math. You know, but and I think sometimes in life, that's one of the challenges. And then I think as you guys are parents, I'm not a parent. I would guess that's also the thing with kids is how to guide them towards, show them the difference between a fantasy and a dream. I meet a lot of people. I meet a lot of dudes that they're like, oh yeah, my goal is to play in the NBA. And I'm like, and it's not for me. I'm not that I'm trying to question his dreams, but I can tell. I'll ask him a few questions, and it's like the type of work you need to put. You can not to say it's impossible, but you're more enamored with the results of being
Right.
an NBA player. You're not like the Michael Jordan who will go shoot 300 free throws, and when he misses, start all over again. You're not putting that. You're just enamored with the image, the idea of an NBA player, but you don't have the love and the passion that you're pouring into it to play at the NBA.
You like the product, but you ain't gonna go through the process.
Right? Exactly.
You want to
Yeah.
cheat the process. So therefore, if you cheat the process, you have a very volatile product.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like
it
playing
may
on the
look good, but it don't work good.
yeah. It's like playing on the game. You can't put in a cheat code to get there to be to be the best.
Yeah,
However you throw the ball up, it makes it into the goal. You can't put in a cheat code like that.
I'm a manifest this shot. Ugh.
Yeah. They say that they would let the team train with Walter Payton, and after they would have to give the whole team a day off because he trained so hard. you know. And I think you have to have either a level of love or commitment for something
Right.
to take it to that level. And I think sometimes kids don't see that. They don't see. And I think parents can help a kid to say, yeah, yeah, you want to play in the NBA, but son, you really, really good with this computer stuff, and you seem to really enjoy it, or or it could be something else like, son, you're a really excellent soccer player, or dad, I want to play football, and I don't know how a parent would do this, but a dad could be like, son, you guys, I know you that's you ain't got the what's the word? Not meanness. You're not vicious enough to play, but you really good with the soccer. You skilled at it. Let's
Give me the
focus
kicker.
on the soccer.
Well,
Give me the
that's
kicker.
kind of. I would kind of take offense to that if my parents kind of said that. I know they would have my good in mind of what they're
Pretty
trying
much said you was
to
a
tell
punk.
me, but at the same time, you kind of what I try to do is, especially with my young one now, I'm a little older and a little wiser, is if she wants to do something, I'm gonna hold her accountable to doing it.
Good, right.
So if it be like, oh, I messed up, oh no, don't get mad. No, keep trying. This is what happened. This is how you get good. and I just let that process ride out. Because if I don't, she'll never complete anything. Because if I let her always quit, as soon as something get hard, she's gonna quit.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
I agree. I think that and when they get in stuff, and because we've been around, they need, even if it ain't their number one, they better play it like it is. They better put 130% in, because everything's a building block. Everything it will cross over. So baseball is not my number one sport, but I'm in baseball. I'm gonna try to be the best baseball player.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, soccer, I'm still trying to be the best soccer player.
Until the season ends?
This season ends, then I'm something else. I'm something else. Because
Okay.
obviously I'm gonna put, while I'm in it, I'm gonna practice to be the best. But if I'm something else, I need to practice to be the best in that. Now, while I'm not in anything, I may practice all three. But of course, the one that I'm passionate about, I'm invest more time in. But that's all okay, because everything builds on everything. If I don't practice, if I don't practice soccer outside of soccer during the season, soccer is going to help me with my foot and my hand-eye coordination in basketball and football. And if I don't practice my leaping, my jumps in basketball at the basketball season, when I'm in basketball, I'm gonna practice my jumps and my leaps. That's gonna cross over in football season. I mean, interceptions. I mean, in my vertical. I mean, everything crosses over. So if I was a wrestler, if I'm wrestling, the stands, the actual explosion, the stand, the explosion, the aggression. That's football, wrestling, and soccer. That's every sport. Wrestling is the oldest sport. So it's just is
Actually, I
oxygen.
think
It's win. It's win, and you get your win, and you work every muscle in your body. What you say? What you about to say?
No. And I was just so anecdotally, son comes to you, is like, Dad, I want to play football, and you know in your heart that he's not going to do well in that, but you're saying, but you would go ahead and support him. Okay, we'll sign you up. Now he's playing football, but then a couple of months in, he's like, oh man, Dad, I don't really like this. You're like, well, son, you're going to finish the season. You're gonna finish. You're gonna finish. Yeah, but Dad, I think you were right. Well, no, son. So you would push him to finish the season, and then at the end of the season, next season, you'd be like, hey, well, let's try. You're really good at this soccer thing. Let's give that a try. But you wouldn't let him in the middle be when he discovers, oh, I thought this was one thing, but this is not what I thought it was. Anecdotally, you're like, well, son, no, you're going to finish. And I know you're going to, yeah, but Dad, it hurts. No, I understand, but let's press through this.
The same principle, right? The same principle goes beyond sports. I mean, yeah, she ain't the woman I thought she was. I'm gonna leave. Bye.
Like one disagreement and you call it quits.
Yeah.
That's not life.
It isn't like it wasn't a pretty woman.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Like you don't make a habit of quitting.
Right.
You put closure to it. I mean, do all you can do, and you can't do no more. That's one thing, but that's why you don't just give you 100%. You give you 120%. You go beyond, even if it's something that you don't really love. If you trust, see, it's also about trust too. You know, like kids don't. They know what they like. They know what they want, but they don't. They know what they like, but they don't really know what they want. You know, when you're a certain age, because you're all influenced by something else outside of yourself. So a lot of times your parents will tell you do one thing, but you spend 5 hours a day looking at basketball. But they see that you can do something else better. But
Mhm.
in the meantime, they try to put like building blocks. Because when I do with my kids, I'm doing everything for building blocks. I'm not expecting my son to be WWE professional wrestler. I'm not expecting to be college wrestler. However, but wrestling crosses over to all sports. It
Mhm.
helps him build his body and his win,
Mhm.
and it stretches him out. When you start playing soccer, they're so enamored. They say, "You're so athletic." Because he's knocking ball because he's a wrestler. It crossed over. Now, if he just got right to the soccer field and didn't do anything prior to soccer, it he just been a soccer player.
Mhm.
They wouldn't say he's so athletic. So all the stuff he's doing that he doesn't like, he does automatically. And he played he had a basketball game the other week, and he was a star. It's 23 points in the game. He got 11,
Wow. Wow.
and they won
Yeah,
23
that's the score.
yeah, and they won 23-21, something like that. I mean, and he was on 3 pointers. So I was good pass. I mean, yeah, he did it. He did his thing.
Mhm.
And I don't ever want him being satisfied for being good when he can be better.
Mhm.
You know, just because he has something, but if you practice hard and you did something you said you want to do, then you got to be better than the next man. If you got a good right hand, you need to work on your left hand. Um, he's going to pretty much be tall. He thinks that I told him, said he'll be tall in the NBA. If you're under 6'6", you're short.
Yeah.
You're a little man. And you over 6'6", you're amongst the million of people who's trying to get in the NBA all over the world. The only time you pretty much guarantee in NBA if you're 7 foot.
Yeah.
If you can have short as a big man. You ain't got no other play. Just stand right there. Lift your hands up.
You playing center, hands
Yeah.
up,
Hands up.
take
Then
that lane.
hop a little bit, dunk. I mean, yeah, you don't have to be a great player to be. If you're 7 foot, you won't get in. So I'm trying to tell them so that you said you want to play NBA, then you gotta have mad ball skills. Left, right, left, right. You gotta be able to shoot with your right hand as well as your left hand. Because everybody else is. Everybody gonna be all American. But you want them to be better than you are. You want them you see the stuff that you couldn't do or you didn't do, and you see where they can become better. And even if they don't like it, that's all right too. My job is to make a good product, irregardless. Uh, 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 because in the end, they got my name, and I'm the gardener. You don't blame the next man for messed up lawn for your yard unless he keep blowing weeds over your grass. You don't blame the next man next door to you for your flowers being jacked up,
Mhm.
for your garden not producing. It's what you sow into the ground. It's how you tend to the ground. If you ignore the ground, it'd be evident when it comes to the roots. Sometimes you're not gonna feel like it. Sometimes they're gonna frustrate you. But you know, in the end, that represents what the work you put in, and that holds your name. So my son said, these couple years, it's either gonna be easy or hard. It's on you. Yeah, because our job is to make a product. Like Marine, your job is get over the enemy line to do the job and get out. So you got people in your crew. I don't think I can do this. You better suck it up. We'll get this thing done.
It's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yeah. It used to be, from what I'm told, it was different back in the day. Now, it used to be once you signed up, that was it. You try to leave, you go to jail. They tell me now it's like that you can get out. They'll they'll let you out for different reasons.
Well, I can't speak for now because I've been out for a little bit. But when I was in, we used to Marine term. We use UA, unauthorized absent. That's the same thing as AWOL for Army term. Or absence without leave. So you still will be charged and get in trouble for it. And then anything out over 30 days, you're considered a deserter, and you can be, now a warrant has been issued and for your arrest and things like that. So you can still get in trouble. I do know it was easier to get processed out for getting in trouble by the time I was getting ready to retire, when it used to be a little bit where they took a little bit more, where, because some people, either they was going into the military or they was going to serve some time. And so it took a little bit more for some people to get out. But I think, being in, you know who you would like to stay in and who you wouldn't, because it translates being in the military. For I speak for Marines. I can't speak for the other services much, but being in the Marine Corps, it was a lot of stuff that team you rely on your buddy. So you want a buddy that's trustworthy, that you feel like that's going to be there, and all of that stuff come out doing training when you're back in the rear. Because if you're not going to put in work to train, it's kind of like playing sports. If you're not going to put in the practice time, guess what? When it comes to play, it can affect how you play.
Right.
So if you have a person that's heart not in it, that most likely that ain't the person you want with you. And some people will surprise you now, but 9 times out of 10, that is not the person that you be like, okay, we're forward deploying, and if stuff go down, is this person gonna, because if they're not acting right here in garrison, what do you expect being forward? It's a discipline thing. Everybody think that you can go off and do what you want to do, but it's like anything that requires a team. The quarterback is only good as that line that give him the opportunity, enough time to throw that ball, to get it downstream. That wide receiver is only as good as that cornerback allow him to get past.
Right.
So, it takes the team. So if someone don't want to be there, and they truly don't, and sometimes it's a call, they truly don't, I prefer them not to be.
Just let them go. Just like, you don't want to be here, and we don't want you here. So just
like especially, I only had to deal with, I think, probably 2 deserters my whole career, but a couple of UAs. But desertion status. I only had to deal with like two of them, but when it always came time for the Marines, that was that for them to re-enlist, what we call a re-enlist recommendation, especially my first termers. I didn't try to persuade them to go or stay. I just gave them the pros and cons of both sides of what I knew. Now, if they was a good Marine, I would definitely give them a little bit more on the Marine side of opportunity. But at the end of the day, I didn't try to sell it hard because that's their decision. Because you can have that first 4 years can be outstanding, and you think that's how it's going to be, and that next 4 years can suck, or it can go vice versa. Because it's you're going to have different leaders, you're going to have different commands, and sometimes you may not like who's over you, who's in charge of you, or the command that you're in. And for myself, I always told myself when I stopped having fun, it was time to go. When I didn't enjoy what I do anymore, it was time to go. When I can't laugh and have a good time, it was time to go. When my heart wasn't there like it needed to be, it was time to go. So when it came to trying to persuade somebody, I just gave them the best information I could on both sides of the house and let them make the decision.
Who are the Marines' most elite soldiers? Like how Navy has SEALs, and I think Army at one time had Green Berets. I don't know if they really have that stuff anymore.
Recon and I can't think of the guys right now. It's and a lot of Marsoc. That's it.
Moscow?
Say what?
What is it? Marsoc?
Marsoc. Yeah.
What does that stand for? Is that
Don't
like
make
an
me-
acronym?
Yeah, I don't want to break down the acronym. Don't make me break down the acronym right
So you
now.
said either Recon or Marsoc.
Yeah.
Okay, were they very difficult to get into?
I couldn't tell you because I wasn't neither.
Okay.
I have a friend that was Marsoc. It's a little bit different in training what the mission is, but the
I never knew it's called Marsoc.
yeah,
So the Army has Green Berets and Rangers.
I guess I don't know much about Army. I don't ever think about the Army. I worked with a guy that was in the Army. He was a paratrooper.
You got bad knees, huh?
Knees, back, if you can name it. He can tell you some stories about jumping, especially night jumps, and you can't see that ground. It goes very fast.
And you can't see the ground.
Yeah. He told me some stories, some little incidents, how his head almost got ripped off by the cable one time, how his parachute then opened up and he tried to spin to make it, it opened, but the strings got tangled, how he tried to make himself spin and all of that. And he said he should have pulled his reserve, and then finally he got it open, but it was a hard landing, behind that because, he didn't have the time, to really slow it down. So yeah, he got some stories, man.
When did he bounce?
He said he bounced, knocked the air out of him when he bounced. But he all like slow moving. He's only, I think he's in his 50s, like mid 50s, but he walk around like you think he about 70 years old. You know what I mean?
Walk around like Joe Namath.
And
Okay. What the hell?
Yeah, you had to touch it. You had to get yourself back on the left-hand side of the screen. You was fine on the right. Man.
Actually, I was on the other screen. I was trying to do something on the computer, and it cut everybody off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was obvious. I wasn't trying to get on any side of the screen. I guess they both work.
Yeah.
They both work synonymous. I could have just changed the format like that.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you did, changing it. Yeah, the format. Yeah, that's a wider view. Yeah. I go Renee.
What happened? What happened?
Tito knocked us off.
No, hey Renee. Remember we told him stop touching things. It was fine. What did he do? He wanted to get back on the left hand side of the screen.
Yeah, 1 minute you were telling us about Marsap, and next thing you know, everything just started disappearing. I was like, wait a minute, what's happening?
Well, we're not going to talk about nothing else dealing with the military.
That's what happened.
That was a sign, right? That was a sign. Yeah, but anyway, but I'm grateful though. I'm grateful for the information I did get. Gratitude.
Okay. Yeah. Let's end it off with some grateful statements. Renee, go ahead.
Say that again.
Let's end it off with a grateful statement.
I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that I'm a Christian and that God made it possible for me to have a relationship with him by sending his son to die for me. That's extremely important to me. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I can run, I can walk. I'm grateful that I'm very well provided for. Food, water, clothing. My vehicle gives me very little problems. I'm grateful, grateful for my family, There's some things that I wish I look back, think I should have done, But hey, you know what? And because we have a really big homeless problem here in Georgia, and a lot of them have drug problems, and I'm grateful that I'm mentally in my right mind. I'm grateful for that because there are a lot of people that struggle with some really difficult mental issues that make it very hard for them to, take care of themselves. So I don't take that for granted anymore. That I'm sane, So I'm very grateful. I have a lot to be grateful for. So thank you, God. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be on this show or podcast, whatever this is called.
Yeah,
I can be grateful that you brought us back after kicking us off.
That's government.
See, that's what he get for. He was about to divulge some marine secrets about Marsap, and the government said, "Click." Said, "Oh, shut that off now." Click.
Nah, I don't say anything that's sensitive. Anything I say, you can look it up on the internet.
Yeah, you're right. Which I'm gonna do as soon as we get off. Actually,
it's what it was. It's just like the Will Smith slap. All you know is just went blank. What happened?
I think the host was trying to fine tune something that didn't need to be fine tuned.
Yes, we were fine. Everything was perfect.
We was on FM, and he wanted to try to get us on AM. AM is done.
Then next thing you know, we were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I thank God for forgiveness.
You're grateful for forgiveness.
Yeah. I thank him for looking beyond my flaws and my faults. Yes, yes. But I thank him for being able to be reflective about my past, because the past is an indicator of my future. And as I can always look back and say, can I become better? And then I can see if I can pass it on. And I spoke with my father's church Sunday. I'm gonna cut that up and make a video out of it about that. While some of us don't have um, physical children, but we do have offspring. Death and life lies in the power of our tongue. So wherever you give life to give your life to verbally, and invest that time, becomes a seed, because your words don't come back void. So even when people they have children that come from the loins, but they have children that come from the tongue. And I try to be more conscious and deliberate of how I speak, and how I impact somebody else's their own reality. And so I thank God for being able to, I'm grateful to being able to be reflective, and not to think more of myself than others.
Mm-hmm.
You got a PhD, and what that mean? That mean when I failed, I just kept going. It means something. I get it, but it doesn't mean I'm greater than you. It doesn't mean I'm better than you. It means that I pushed towards something I wanted and I got it. And you too can have the same thing. And it didn't come overnight either. And it wasn't no epiphany at the age of 10. It's part of the process. I was looking for a product, and I knew some things that was messed up in the creation of it. So I had to go back and try to modify so I could get the product that I wanted. So I'm grateful to be reflective, so maybe I can pass on some of the experiences, the information I have, so the people that come behind me that won't make the same mistakes. All right, people.
Well, I'm grateful for the peace that I have on my life. I'm grateful for the people that I have in my life that help keep me on track. And that's my support system, because that's very, very important. Sometimes as men, we think we don't need anyone, but the truth is we need people too.
Right.
And I'm just thankful for that support system where that iron get to sharpen iron, and and having the wisdom to know to suck in the knowledge, and then to be able to have the wisdom to apply that knowledge that's given. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. All right, people. Thank y'all for your input. I appreciate y'all coming on and help discussion. I am grateful to have a conversation, and I continue to try to be more grateful every day. All right,
And I'm
journeyman.
grateful you brought us back on after cutting us off.
I'm grateful.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Have a good
Have a
evening.
wonderful night.
Be blessed.
Good night, journeyman.
Journeyman. I can't say journeywoman. All right, unless you identify. Let me end it. All right.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Where am I at? Okay. I'm hiding. Whatever, people. Hey, journeyman, journeywomen, this is Hero's Journey with Dr. D. Do appreciate you for you coming out. And if you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others by clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. What you do is you organically grow with me and help me build to make a better tomorrow today. And If you don't remember anything, you remember anything today, if you remember anything about this show, remember this, that you are important. I believe that you're important. God knows that you're important, so it's got to be. But even before that, if you see anything of value on the replay as far as on my series on emotions and my playlist, go ahead and click it. Click it. I believe that you get something from it. And also, if there's anything more that you need to know, go down below. Check my website, heroseeks, SEEKS.org. Call me up. We can set up a session, and we can help you get beyond your first move. If you need something beyond the videos, beyond the lives, or you just need a one-on-one, and be on the lookout for my Ride and Share. Ride and Share with Dr. D is coming soon. I promise you, it's coming soon. Okay. With that being said, if you find any value in this content, go ahead and do what I actually do previously. Click the subscribe, commenting, and sharing, and because you really do help make tomorrow better tomorrow today. And if you don't remember anything else from this broadcast, remember this: every day you get a vertical, you are important. Get up vertical. I want you to move forward and not move back. We cannot afford to live our life looking in a rearview mirror. So this is Dr. D, and we are out. We are out.